Hello everyone, happy Friday. Hopefully you guys are seeing me and hearing me okay. I got multiple things going, so let's see how this goes and how we get everything situated. Welcome to Storytime with me, DC. I am super excited you guys are joining me. So if you're watching wherever, amazing. If you are on TikTok, hey, hello. If you're watching me from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, we're going to have an amazing time. So I am officially trying to get back into the rhythm. I'm back from Australia, so it is officially Friday, first one back, first week in the States. And let's be honest, my friends, it took me a little longer than I thought to get back acclimated to myself, to feel like I wasn't completely like spastic. So it has been a little bit of slow recovery. So we're back in the swing of things, and I decided, hey, if I'm going to go ahead and do this, I might as well jump right in, or else I'm going to talk myself out of, let's be honest, doing more book reading. So committed, we're doing this. Hopefully you guys are watching. I've got 3 different chats going, so let's see how that works, and hopefully we're going to go from there. Today I'm going to be talking about The Hitman. So if you guys can see it, I am excited about this. The Hitman is book 1 in the Orders of the Assassin series, which is a very short novella for us today. So this is really fun. And I'm going to give you a little bit of background because you guys know how I feel about it. I need to give you kind of the behind the scenes of what is happening in these books. So be prepared. If I stop in the middle of it, don't panic. I'm just filling in. If you put a comment, I am trying to pay attention. So that way, just write it in, let me know so I can kind of fill you guys in. And because I'm totally about celebrating. Salute, everyone. Bring your favorite drink. Alcoholic, not alcoholic, whatever you want. We're going to go celebrate chow. I'm celebrating, honestly, with like my drink of choice, which happens to be a milkshake Kahlua. I'm crazy about milkshakes and Kahlua. Why not? It's living a little bit. It's Friday night and it's definitely past 5 o'clock here in Texas. So, salud. And I've been waiting all day to cheers. So, hey, it's kind of that fun of a day. So, let's start. For anybody who's not familiar with what I do, multi-genre, a little bit of everything. This series is straight urban fantasy. And it picks up where the Intern Diaries left off. So for anybody who's been watching my series, Eric is our sexy and fabulous cop in the Intern Diaries who actually happens to be a witch and has been recruited by the Order of Witches. So this is where we're picking up in the storyline. Get to do a little introductions. I have a whole bunch of disclaimer as we go through this book, so I'm going to fill you guys in. Biggest one is throughout the Intern Diaries, and that's 5 novels, 3 novellas, bunch of little stories. Eric never really spoke to me. So everybody says, oh my God, I knew this. I'm glad because I didn't. Like, Eric wasn't talking to me. So this is our day to kind of get to know a little bit about Eric. So why did I decide to do it? I want to say it's been about this book originally got started, this novella, for a collection that I did for Literary Love Savannah, which is an event that I've done for the last 3 to 4 years in Savannah, Georgia. And they did an anthology, which they had a couple. The first one they did was like suit porn. So everybody has the same suit store that they go to. And it was one of those interesting things. I'm like, that would be a kind of fun place to put Eric. But I always wanted to do an Assassins. I wanted to do an assassin story so bad. And I had the idea. I had the clan. I wanted her to be a Dominican assassin and everything. And let me tell you, the story was not coming at all. So it was one of those things, how do I get this together? So when the project came about, it kind of clicked and the two just kind of merged together. So I'm going to give you a fun reading from Eric. This book is a little different than what I do. I normally, for my urban fantasies, the Intern Diaries have been very straight Isis perspective, first person. This is third person. So I always feel when I'm talking about the boys, it's third person. Like, I don't really want to be in other people's head as much as I was in ISIS. So you get third person, and it's also very much a little sassy, a little sexy. I do super action quirkiness everywhere for those who are familiar with it. This one, and just a little disclaimer, it does have some curse words. Most of my books don't. This one's a little bit more edgy because it's Eric, and it's a little bit more sassy. So how about we get started? And then I kind of going to fill you guys in some more. So we're going to start with chapter 1. And let's see, for anybody who is an Eric fan, this is all for you. So ladies and gentlemen, The Orders of Assassins, Book 1, The Hitman, and welcome to the wonderful world of Eric, our fabulous witch. So remember, I am not a professional narrator, so be kind to me, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. What do you guys think? Let's go. Chapter 1. Blood flowed down his abs as the scorching water hit his body. It was hard to tell if the blood was Eric's or his last target. Didn't make a difference. There wasn't enough soap or boiling water to wash away the memory of his kills. 18 months. Eric had been chasing witches, wizards, traitors, and the likes for the last 18 months of his life. All on behalf of the order. He slammed his fist against the tiles of the shower and immersed himself under the water. His bruised knuckles split open again, fresh blood mixed with the trails already running down his body. His dark hair was matted, probably from guts, maybe brain matter. The result was the same, dead bodies. Everywhere and still no lead. Sorry, guys. He was tired of the chase, the games, the intrigue, of everything. The madness of it all was eating away at his soul, if he still had one. At this point, he was beyond himself. In his 173 years of living, this was the first time Eric had truly hated his existence and his skills. Yes, he was a great witch. But by the looks of it, he was an even better killer. So, quick pause here. Here's the biggest takeaway. When I wrote this, I have no idea how old he was. In the intern diary, he comes across, and you honestly think he's in his 30s, because Isis is in his, 20s. We have no idea how old Eric is. Because I told you, it wasn't until I got here that Eric decided to start talking to me. So no clue how old this child is. We have no idea, really. All of the behind the scenes. So we're getting to know a lot about Eric here. Especially the fact that, yes, he's good at what he does. And he's even better at what he doesn't want to do. So let's go from there. Eric continued his ritual, soaking his head with shampoo as if that could raise the memory of the tension in his mind. His pride wouldn't let him admit it out loud, but he missed Texarkana. Hey, everybody in Texas, big shout out. This is for you. The madness of Reaper's ink will be a welcome relief in exchange for the life he'd been living. He never intended to become the oldest assassin or the avenging angel. For as old as he was still making foolish mistakes. Did he honestly believe he could help his people after the blows they suffer? No. Eric knew better. He was running away. The water cooled and Eric knew the drill. Once the water turned cold, it was time to step back into the real world, to forget his life as the cop in Texas, the last one he embraced, and don the mask of calculated bastard. If Isis was right, it wasn't hard for him to become distant and disregard people. He actually missed her and regretted never telling her how he felt. Okay, everyone. I've been told everybody who's read this, like, they knew it. They knew Eric had feelings for Isis, and they couldn't wait for this to happen. This is really exciting because I had no idea. So if you guys knew before me, thank you. Somebody should have told me because Eric did not. This boy was not talking to me. So let's keep going. Damn Constantine in Virginia, Eric told himself for the 100th time as he stepped outside the shower and let the cool air dry his body. The guardian of the interns and Death's right-hand man, Constantine, was not one to be crossed. The 5,000-year-old cat had more money, power, and influence than God himself. If Eric believed in the Almighty, it might impress them. But when Constantine hired him to train the newly made intern, he gave strict instruction to never get involved with her. Eric didn't see a problem with that. He never expected to fall for her. Isis Black was insufferable, impulsive, and opinionated. Yet, Isis made him see the good in people again. If Constantine wasn't enough, let's be honest to say this, that should be enough. The too hot for her own good intern was related to the most improbable person alive. How could he have known that she would be the goddaughter of Virginia Black, the high priestess of the Order of Witches? Could his life be more demented? The cell phone screamed the ringtone, Hell's Bells by AC/DC. So quick punch here. My amazing beta reader, Mr. Patton, came up with that. So big shout out to him because it's perfect. So thank you. Gotta give credit to what it's due. Perfect call. Eric took a deep breath to settle himself. The ringtone could only mean one thing, and he wasn't going to rush to answer the phone. Striding naked through his apartment, he headed towards the kitchen. It was 6 a.m, and since he'd been up all night, he needed coffee. Duke could wait. The smell of the Jamaican coffee was intoxicating. It was official. His automated coffee maker was his new best friend. Eric poured a cup and inhaled the decadent brew. He didn't care that the lake was boiling. Deep down, Eric prayed that the wrath of the coffee could burn away the bile he felt burning inside of his throat. No luck, Eric told himself just as his cell phone rang again, causing his insides to turn. I know you're ignoring me. Duke's heavy European accent came across the speaker as soon as Eric answered. I just got in, Eric replied. You can't possibly have another lead for me. I have something better, Duke replied. Doubt it, but let me hear it. Eric placed the cup down and used his power to heal his wounds. The skin on his hands mended, and he could feel the ribs snapping back in place. If he was going out again, he didn't have time to natural healing. Eric doubted he'd remember how that actually worked anymore. Are you listening to me? Duke shouted. Eric had blocked the man out and missed all the details. Sorry, man. I was trying to heal here. You're great at that, Duke admitted in a softer tone. You should have been a healer instead of an assassin. Eric finished for him. Both men avoided the conversation, knowing it was only pointless to dwell on the bad choices. Regardless how many times you fix the body, humans always die. Sounds like you've been there. Duke was in a very talkative mood. Eric was not. What's the deal, Duke? I want to crash before I have to face another battle. We found him, Duke whispered. Are you sure? Eric knew exactly who Duke was referring to. The arrogant bastard thinks he's untouchable, to continue. He's collecting an army of low-life wannabes, witches, with no talent. You need to take care of Raphael. The priestess wants his head on a platter. Didn't think Virginia was one for channeling her inner Solomon, Eric smirked. He didn't blame her. Too many good people had died because of Raphael's betrayal. That makes the only quote in the Bible reference she ever quotes. Duke answered. That asshole has an ongoing date every Friday night at the Village Underground in Greenwich. Pause. Let me give you guys an insight. Definitely channeling my days as a little student at NYU, so why not? Let's go back to NYU, New York City, for anybody who's been there. This is that reference back to 2000s, late 90s. So here you go. So hello. Ooh, people are joining us. Hello, everyone, both on TikTok as well as Facebook, Instagram. I'm looking everywhere. I'm going to get whiplash, so thank you for joining me. So hello. So let's keep going. Remember, we're doing chapter 1 of the Orders, the Hitman, which is book 1 in the Orders Assassin. And let's see how poor Eric handles this, because let's be honest, he's having a bad day. I know the place. Eric had lived in New York City several times and was familiar with the new comedy club. He remembered when it was the place that played Spanish rock to the drunken college students in the village hippies. Anything you need? Duke had the excitement of a teenage at a prom. Send me an appointment with Mr. Lorenzo, Eric replied. Again? Duke choked. Man, how many suits can you destroy in 1 month? So remember, I said this was first initially part of an anthology, so here's the beginning of the reference. So this is where we're going with that. Do you want to do my job or what? Eric was in no mood to defend himself from a man who only wore sweatpants and crop tops. Do you even own jeans? Fuck you, Eric, Duke answered. Yeah, that's what I thought. Eric sipped the rest of his coffee. Let him know I'll be there at his shop around 1. Will do. Do you need any weapons? Duke was back to acting like a giddy cheerleader. Last time I checked, I'm the weapon. Eric examined his fully healed body. If his magic ever failed, which never happened, he was physically strong enough to take on an ox. There was no doubt he was deadly. If that wasn't a fact, I would say you are an arrogant asshole as well, Duke told him. Oh, I'm definitely that, Eric said, not apologizing for his attitude. But I'm also as good as it gets, so why bother denying it? Text me any important details and don't call me until tomorrow. Yes, Master Eric. Whatever you say, Almighty One, Duke replied, full of sarcasm. Go to hell, Duke, and don't call me back. Eric disconnected the call before the two of them bantered for another hour. He poured himself another cup of coffee. He wanted a nap before heading out for the day. It had been over a month since he had to stay at the apartment, which meant there was no food anywhere, besides the coffee. To make this worse, the place smelled of mildew. He wondered if the cleaning lady ever aired it out. He could cleanse it with magic, but he doubted he would be in town long enough to enjoy it. New York City was strange. In the early morning, for the city that never sleeps, early mornings were eerie in their quietness. Eric could sense all the residents in their building, either sleeping or slowly waking up. He let his senses trail the enchants and insecurities around his apartment, needing to make sure no person or thing could sneak up on him while he slept. Taking one last sip of his coffee, he headed to bed. He didn't bother with clothes. After everything he'd been through, modesty was something he cared nothing about. So, stopping there to give you kind of a quick explanation. As I wrote this chapter, literally I imagined Eric, the beginning scene, very much in the bathroom getting covered in blood. The question came as I'm getting to the ending of writing. It's like, boy, why are you naked? Like, why are we having coffee naked? For the love of God, why are you still naked? And literally that was the reply that came back, is modesty was something he didn't care about at all. And I'm like, well, that was lovely. Thanks, boy. I understand. Got it. Now we know why you're naked. So this is how this chapter started. A little sexy, a little bit steamy, not enough to make all my true devoted Steam fans go crazy for it, but it's still enough of that sexiness that's like, oh my God. See, Jamie has the same question. Yes, why is he naked? No idea. Like, I had this conversation. It literally became back because he could. Literally. He just could. I'm like, oh, well, I guess if you can do something. That's pretty much how that went down. I was like, thanks, Eric. I would keep that in mind. But I really was hoping he would eventually put some clothes. He doesn't. The fun part about Eric is because of that, as people have been reading and they're like, does he spend more time naked? Listen, people, we don't need to know. That sounds like an Eric issue. So let's go from there, because we have finished chapter 1. So hopefully you guys got a little taste of what Eric's all about. So salud. Let's take cheers. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I'm making sure I don't have a milk mustache right now. Okay, pretty safe. Awesome. So we're going to introduce you to chapter 2. Here's the fun part, is that I try something new with this book. It switches back perspective. It goes between chapter 1, which is Eric, switches over to chapter 2. You get to meet literally Sasha. So I have a question. Cheers. Cheers. What am I drinking for everybody who just missed it? I have a milkshake of Kahlua and vanilla ice cream. So this is probably my favorite. So hello. So for anybody who needs to grab a drink, go forward, make a little run. Salut, everyone. Cheers. So it is probably my drink of choice because it's sweet. Like, usually if I'm looking for something, it's always going to be sweet. So this is what we got. So thank you, Chance. You give me another reason to drink, so hey. So we're going to do chapter 2. I always wanted to be an assassin in terms of like how to write it, how to create it, fight scenes. So this is my attempt to kind of channel all that inner like sass that becomes. So I have created the deadliest clan of shifter assassins you can imagine. And of course, because as a writer, you can to put them in any universe, they happen to be Dominican. Just don't tell my mother. So shh, this is our secret, everyone. Don't tell my mother they happen to be Dominican. She's probably not going to appreciate it, but I thought it was hysterical. So we got a whole clan of Dominican assassins. They're the Garcias. Yes, I named them after my family because I thought, why not? We're going to go there. So it's kind of an introduction to that. So you get to go back and forth through those perspectives and truly get to see their dynamic. And Sasha is just sass. So when I was looking at this book, because normally I write them and then look for the tropes, you have a tap more of, enemies to eventually friends, maybe lovers if Eric has his way. Sasha might kill him. She's not that buying this whole anything. So this is what you're going to get. So let me introduce you to Sasha, and then you get to see the similarities between our guys. So let's go from there. So here we go. Chapter 2. Sasha, if you screw this up, I'm going to skin you alive. Ralph screamed through the phone. When have I ever let you down? Sasha asked, her voice as sweet as honey. Every day. Ralph shouted even louder. Every fucking day. If you don't kill that demon, I'm going to deduct it from your check. You worthless shapeshifter. What? Sasha screeched. Why do you have to get personal? You're the worst excuse for an assassin I have ever hired. Ralph continued to chastise her. I'm the only assassin you could afford, Sasha said in a softer tone. Girl, don't make me hurt you. Ralph told her, get the demon and report back to me. Is that clear? I have many people who want that one dead. Yes, sir, Sasha saluted to the phone, knowing he couldn't see her. Ralph disconnected the call, and Sasha dropped to the ground. She had been stalking her prey for over 6 hours, and he was still inside an Indian restaurant in Midtown. Why was a demon hanging out at a restaurant? It wasn't like he could eat anything. Sasha tucked one of her brown curls away from her face. She was freezing. Her Dominican blood was not conforming to the freezing temperatures of New York City in December. She refused to rationalize the fact that she had lived in New York for most of her life. In her blood, she was Caribbean. Focus, Sasha, she whispered to herself. Easy kill. You can do this. You are helping the world by getting rid of one more demon. Who cares what he's done? He has done no harm to you. You are a freaking assassin from an honorable clan of assassins. Sasha stood and wiped the back of her skirt. She cracked her neck and allowed her bones and muscles to adjust. Who am I kidding? Sasha dropped her head to her chest. I hate my job. Why didn't I become a sniper? That way I don't have to see people. Oh, because demons don't die with bullets. Are you talking to yourself again? A blonde asked. Ah! Sasha screamed. Why are you sneaking up on me? Oh, please, you heard me coming, the blonde replied. Stop trying to change the subject by acting confused. Anita, I suck at this, Sasha confessed. Just quit. Anita replied. Anita took a bobby pin from her hair and adjusted Sasha's curls. While the girls were the same height, almost 5'8", Anita had curves that stopped traffic. Sasha was lean, but lacked Anita's definition. Something she despised since she didn't look like the other girls in Washington Heights. She could blame being a shifter, but all the other women in her family had that traditional Latina shape except her, including her sexy cousin with the hazel eyes and blonde hair and standing in front of her. Are you sure you're Dominican? Sasha asked, pulling on Anita's hair. Me? Anita glanced at her defined figure. How do you look in the mirror? The only thing you got from the family was the hair and maybe the eyes. Ouch! Low blow! Sasha grabbed her chest in mock pain. Seriously, what are you doing here? Anita handed her cousin a brown paper bag with her lunch. I'm tracking down this stupid demon so I can kill him, Sasha replied, watching her cousin blink multiple times. Sasha pointed across the street to the building hosting the restaurant. Patrons were coming in and out of the restaurant, but no demon inside. Oh, this can't be good, Anita finally told her. Do you need help? No, Sasha answered, waving her away. I just need food because I couldn't leave my post. I can't lose them. Besides, if you do it, your signature will be over him and I won't get paid. Fine, Anita said, rolling her eyes. But do you know that place has a back entrance, right? Are you serious? Anita slapped her cousin over the head. You didn't... Sorry, let's back it up. What? Sasha dropped the bag and looked around. Are you serious? Anita slapped her cousin over the head. You didn't scout the location? You're so bad at this. Shit. Sasha took off across the street. She barely missed the oncoming traffic. This can't be happening to me. Sasha couldn't believe her oversight. She rushed across the block to the back of the building. Maybe she was overreacting. There wasn't anything to worry about. It wasn't like her senses hadn't been yelling at her for the past hour that something was wrong. Of course not. She ignored those warning labels daily. Who needed a conscience when you kill people for a living? Taking short, quick breaths through her mouth, she focused all her energy on sprinting as fast as she could to the back of the building. In her human form, she wasn't nearly as swift as she was on 4 legs. But for her demons, she needed her weapons because her class would not be enough. After several minutes of struggling, she finally picked up speed. Unfortunately, it was a little too late. Sasha arrived at the entrance of an alley at the back of the restaurant, but she slipped on the sidewalk. The brick wall stopped her momentum as she slammed straight into it and fell and dropped flat on her ass. I thought you forgot about me, little one. A soft hiss from the shadows. From the ground, Sasha made eye contact with the demon. Blood oozed from his mouth as he dropped a lifeless body on the pavement. Look at all the fools I have to take waiting for you. The demon licked his lips. Sasha did a backflip, landing on her feet with her daggers out. The demon clapped as if amused. Bravo, the demon cheered. You are a flexible one. I'm about to send you to hell, Sasha announced. Let's see you clap about that. Her reservations about vanishing the demon vanished. After seeing the 4 dead bodies, if he was going to blame her for the deaths, she was going to make sure he paid for them. First, catch me, the demon told her. Sasha charged at the demon, but he merely leaped over her. Before slamming into the other wall, Sasha stopped herself. She glanced over her shoulder just as the demon waved at her and took off running. You have to be kidding me, Sasha yelled at herself. Why is he running? I'm going to strangle whoever summoned this bitch and let him loose in the city. Not bothering to put her blades away, Sasha took off after him. It was New York City in the middle of the afternoon. Nobody would ever question that she was doing it or even notice her. They would think she was in student film or something and not think twice about it. was going to be a very long day if she didn't get this one. So my friends, that was chapter 2 of the Hitman. I do apologize for stuttering in those words, primarily because I got more excited and kept skipping ahead. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. So Hitman is literally short novella, super fun. Guess what? The reason we're doing the Hitman is because next week I'm going to be doing book 2. So book 2 is finally out on paperback, also in hardback. I figured why not? We might as well do them both. So book 2 is out. Let me give you a little bit of a kind of insight on this book. One of the reasons, so we're going from New York City to Salem, Massachusetts. So when I wrote this series, I had told my mother, and we all make these promises that you're going, yes, this is a great idea. Why not? I had told my mother that I was going to do a book based in Salem. And when I say Salem, we're going back to Salem, Massachusetts. And my mother asked me, I think it was the last year, the year before, so when is that book coming? So for anybody who's ever want to keep their parents happy and they ask you questions like that, you're like, oh, yeah, that book we talked about. So last year I went back home. So I usually come home every other year, not enough according to my parents. So, and honestly went an entire scouting mission with my mother. So a lot of the locations in this book we picked together. We wandered around the town. We took lots of pictures. She thought it was great. I was like, I might be over my head. But it was a lot of fun. So when the trailer came out, it's definitely that book for my mother. It's that book that says, here's a little bit of home, a little bit of the Salem that I know that is probably very different than what most people see on television. So it's still super fun. I am still crazy in love with my city. It is one of those cities that is magical just by the sake of being in Salem. So absolutely. So next week, we're going to read a couple chapters, introduce you to how the series continues. You get Eric and Sasha. They definitely don't like each other. Eric has been known for having really bad taste in women. It has not changed. So the fun thing about it for everybody who's crazy about my intern guys, you do get to get Constantine back, because it wouldn't be a Reaper's World without Constantine. Martha Oliva makes an appearance. I think even poor Bob comes and says hi to the show. So you get a little bit of that. So you're going to get a taste. So do we have any questions? Do you guys have anything you guys want to ask me while we're here? I'm looking around to make sure you guys have that I'm covering anything. Give you guys some time because I know I'm officially your quirky Dominican that talks really, really fast. But want to make sure you guys had an opportunity. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. And it gives me a chance to have more of a drink. Questions, concerns? Is it good? Nothing exciting? Everything's doing wonderful this evening? Well, in that case, I'm going to be wrapping up. I want to say a huge thank you for everyone for watching. Sending you guys lots and lots of love. Have an amazing evening, everyone. Please, please stay safe. Enjoy yourself. And if you guys are ready for another story time, let's go back next week, 7:30 Central Time, right here. And we're going to try it again and see how that works. Lots and lots of love. Thank you, everyone. Stay amazing. Jamie, I love you. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely crashing. So everyone have an amazing evening. And yes, and quick shout out. So since I was in Rotary Australian, rocking my Rotary shirt. So, hey, lots of love to all my Rotarians. And hopefully you guys have an amazing day. So, bye, guys. Adios. And I'll see you guys Friday.